Today's theme is Beauty of Loving Kindness. Today's program is from now 10:30 to 4:30 in the afternoon. Lunch or snack break at 12:30. Okay, Teacher Upul, please.
Good morning, my dear Hong Kong friends. Yeah, I'm very happy to see all of you, especially dear Amy and dear Ray. I'm happy to see you after 3 months now. First I would like to express my gratitude towards Amy and Ray and all the other participants and organizers to invite me once again to share some of my experiences with all of you. And of course, meditation is something that we have to do by ourselves. Meditation is something that what we have to do individually by ourselves. This practice daily in regular basis. If we want to go deeper into the meditation, and if we want to go deeper into our consciousness, of course, we have to do it regularly, every day. Anyhow, so we had to practice meditation daily by ourselves, alone. But time to time, it's important and useful to have a group gathering like what we are having now, because the nature of our mind, is that it is depending on external things. The mind is depending on external things. The ordinary mind is not independent, something independent. It is relying on so many outside factors and activities. So therefore, others' energies are so affecting to our mind. We are affected by others' psychological and emotional energies. That's why the Dhamma is always encouraging us to have spiritual friends, and spiritual association are so important. So Dhamma says there is no choice. We had to be with spiritual friends. There is a small incident what happened during the Buddha's time. It's a long story, but I would like to summarize it into a short form. Once the Bhikkhu Ananda, the attendant to the Buddha, addressed to the Buddha, and he said, "Dear Lord, or dear Buddha, the half of our spiritual journey is depending on spiritual friends. Is it?" So his question is that half of our spiritual journey is happening, or we can go half of the journey. We can complete the 50% of our spiritual journey because of the support of spiritual friends. So that's the Ananda's idea. Then we know what the Buddha's respond. The Buddha said, don't say Ananda like this. Don't say. The Buddha mentioned this twice. Don't say like this. So when the Buddha says like this, that don't say for twice, that to that idea that half of our spiritual journey, or we can complete the 50% of our spiritual journey with help of other support, then maybe Bhikkhu Ananda thought the Buddha wanted to teach us that we had to do it fully by ourselves. We had to complete the entire journey from beginning to the end by ourselves without depending on anybody. But the Buddha's picture vision is different. The Buddha said, "Dear Ananda, the entire journey is happening because of spiritual friends, not 50%, 100%. The Buddha further shared one of his experiences with Bhikkhu Ananda, that the Buddha said once a king, Kosala, name is Kosala, he came to see the Buddha and he gave a sermon to the Buddha. He gave a discourse to the Buddha. So Buddha said what the king Kosala mentioned is that people think that they want to be good people, they want to behave in a good manner, but somehow it doesn't happen. And why? Because no spiritual friends. That's the reason. And the king further mentioned this, that uh, our whole journey is happening because of spiritual friends. It's important, it's compulsory, and the Buddha totally agreed to that king's conclusion. So, dear friends, the Buddha, he himself, he didn't claim himself as a teacher or universal teacher or universal master. He himself claimed as a spiritual friend. Since the Buddha's period till now, this message came over the generations, generation by generation, from heart to heart, not from head to head, or not from a book to book. It just came from the heart to heart, from life to life, from examples to examples. So that is called the quality called loving kindness. Because of this beauty of loving kindness, still this message of the Buddha is available in nowadays, in the modern world. Therefore, dear friends, the quality of loving kindness is playing a very important and main role of our spiritual practice. Anyhow, because of some reasons and conditions, the mindfulness practice leads the practice of loving kindness. The mindfulness meditation is overtaking the practice of loving kindness. The meditation is so popular now, and the meditation means for most of people is mindfulness. being mindful, and they think that's the only way to meditate, and that is the most important spiritual factor, the mindfulness. And of course, the mindfulness is playing a very important role in our spiritual life. So that is the foundation of our spiritual cultivation. The mindfulness is the foundation, no argument about it. And uh, but the mindfulness is, of course, it's a skill. It's a skill of the mind. With this, by using this skill of mindfulness, the mind can uh, uh, get the ability to moderate and manage all the other psychological skills. And today, a lot of mindfulness centers and teachers and institute and researchers are there. It's good that the world is becoming mindful. It's good. By being mindful, we can be skillful, and we can be attentiveness. We can be sharp. We can understand things quickly and correctly, and therefore we can make right decisions without hesitating. And we know the very function of mindfulness is creating some distance in between ourselves and whatever we experience. We create some kind of gap or room in between ourselves and others. And that's important because we are too attached and too close to everything and to everybody. That's why we react quickly, and we do emotional reactions to everything because we are too close and too attached. And also, not only towards others, we also try to maintain some kind of space, sometime some kind of room with ourselves, with our body, with our mind, and with our emotions. So shortly, we say that we are becoming observers or spectators or witness. We are witnessing to whatever happens. That means no involvements, no engagements, no attachments. We are becoming outsiders with mindfulness. And because of this benefit, because of this practice, one can experience some kind of freedom. Whatever happens around us or in us, it doesn't affect to us strongly as before, because we are not attached to whatever happens. And that's one of the benefits of mindfulness, the freedom. We are not free, and with mindfulness we can be free. And because of this, most of us think that this is enough. Mindfulness is enough. With mindfulness, we can be in the present, we can detach from the past and the future, and we can detach from all the social issues. We can even detach from our physical and psychological happenings. So, no problem. We are okay. Well, it's okay. It's completely okay if we are alone and isolated, and if we are single. And my dear friends, even if we are single, it might cause some issues. We can discuss about it later. Anyhow, I have met I meet many people who are suffering who are really suffering because of others' mindfulness practice. Maybe uh, because of husband's mindfulness practice, wife is suffering. Wife's mindfulness practice, husband is suffering. Maybe children are suffering because of both of them's mindfulness practice. And they said that our parents are very good. My husband is nice. Wife is nice. Children are okay. Friends are okay. Before the mindfulness practice, but now they are different. Now they are not concerned as before. Uh, they don't attend to uh, whenever we need them, and they are living in their own worlds. So I suggested them to speak, to discuss with the other party about your problem. And they said, yes, we did. And then I asked, what's their response? They said, it's your problem. It's your problem. If you are suffering, it's your problem. You can be also mindful on your suffering. I am outsider. I'm not saying it's a fault of mindfulness, but it is some kind of abuse in the mindfulness. Not the fault of mindfulness or the weakness of mindfulness, but the way we abuse the mindfulness. So, dear friends, we have to understand this, that being an outsider or being an observer is just a point of view. It's not the reality. It is just a point of view to let go of our narrow visions. If we are sensitive towards others, especially towards who are close to us, if you are sensitive, then I think we cannot say that we are outsiders. No father or no mother can say, I am an outsider. Son, daughter, I am an outsider. So therefore, this practice of loving kindness is so useful and so important. So it's like two wheels of the cycle of spirituality. So mindfulness is the front wheel, and the loving kindness is the rear wheel. So, and one of the common idea about the loving kindness is that it's an emotional practice. By practicing loving kindness, the meditators are becoming emotional and like something like sentimental, and therefore the so-called vipassana or mindfulness is higher than the loving kindness. Loving kindness is lower. So that's the picture what we are having. And my dear friends, it's some kind of egoistic statement. So we can see how subtle our ego is. Actually, we think that with the mindfulness we can separate from everything. We can detach from everything. We can be observers. We can be outsiders to everything, but not to the ego. So the ego is always making hierarchies and discriminations. And even the ego now says mindfulness is superior and loving kindness is lower, inferior. And I'm curious about this, that why that mindfulness is unable to see or unable to watch that egoistic judgment. And when the mindfulness says that it's your problem, it's not my problem. So why that mindfulness is unable to see how selfish this answer is? And my dear friends, as I said earlier, uh, this is not only happening with others, also we can do this, we can be tough to our own self as well with practice of mindfulness. The idea of mindfulness is observing and observing and observing. So sometimes we only observe, we can only observe our physical experiences and psychological experiences. So sometimes the body is suffering and suffering and suffering because of some physical discomforts and pain. And I know some mindfulness practitioners, they are just observing and observing and observing. And that's all. The body is really suffering and it is too much for the body, but they don't care about it. They don't worry about it. No worries. And same thing they do to their mind. The mind is sometimes in pain, suffering, but what they do is just observe and observe and observe. And by observing, maybe they can create some space uh, which does not affect strongly. But anyhow, what I want to say is they are not taking any actions uh, to help to the body or help to the mind. They just observe and they say, I don't have any worries. I am not worried about what is happening in the body and mind. It's, what I am doing is I am just knowing, I am just observing. That's all. My dear friends, we may think that being an observer is the ultimate state, or that's the reality. But actually, it is just a model. It is just a tool to be an observer. So we have to use this tool for the right time, for right period of time. Unfortunately, the modern world thinks the mindfulness is the only tool. That's the only model. So, like to repair a vehicle or whatever, to repair any machine, they have only one tool and they are trying to use that single tool to repair the entire machine. And the result is it's destroying the machine and destroying the tool as well. So the Dhamma or the Buddha has given us many tools. So the observing is one of the tools, not the only tool. And some other tools like caring, avoiding, and escaping. Also, sometimes escaping is important, is useful. So many other tools, but we cannot see all the other options if we are blind with the mindfulness. If we believe the mindfulness blindly, then we cannot see other tools. So, therefore, by abusing this mindfulness, one can be really a tough person, a tough guy, a hard person. It is possible and it is happening. Uh, like becoming a stone, and then the stone can say, I don't have any problem. No one can hit me. I don't have any pain. But my dear friends, then the stone is missing the beauty of living, the beauty of life. No stone knows anything about the beauty of living. It is dead. So on one hand, the mindfulness is the solution for most of human problems, physical, psychological, emotional, and social. That's true. We had to believe this. We had to accept this. The mindfulness is giving us uh, many solutions for most of our problems. So therefore, the mindfulness is the medicine for a lot of physical, psychological, and emotional illnesses. But dear friends, we have to be aware the on the side effects of misusing the mindfulness as well. And therefore now, I know some physicians, doctors, they ask people to not to be mindful. Yeah. Before they ask us to be mindful, and it's good. With mindfulness, of course, we can cure a lot of problems, a lot of sicknesses. But because of this narrow usage of mindfulness, now we are having some side effects, and therefore physicians or doctors or counselors may ask us not to be mindful, just be normal. Actually, dear friends, the Buddhism is not asking anybody to practice so-called pure mindfulness. You may know that there are 8 steps. It's called Eightfold Noble Path, and the mindfulness is the 7th factor of this Eightfold Noble Path. And even before mindfulness, there are some gentle thoughts. We had to cultivate gentle thoughts, gentle attitudes, non-violence concepts. They are very important. I am very fortunate to have a spiritual friend like Godwin. I think many of you or some of you are also think in the same way. And actually, Godwin was a model of mindfulness, how to be mindful from moment to moment, how to be in the present. So he gave us a live example for that, more than discourses or speeches. His life is a teaching, a message of being in the present and being mindful. It's very difficult to find out the moment, a single moment that he was not in the present. And it's really a challenge to find a moment that the Godwin is not mindful. Maybe there were some moments, but our mindfulness is not sharp enough to catch those moments. So, but on the other hand, he's so gentle, so kind, so friendly, so soft, and so tender. So it's a miracle actually how a human being is becoming such a mindful, such a aware, such a awake, as well as such a gentle, kind, and tender as Godwin. Maybe some of Hong Kong friends could discover it, because Hong Kong awareness is more sharper than Sri Lankan awareness. So if you have something like that, please share later. And many people, discuss about their problems with Godwin to get some solutions from him as for counseling, but as well as some personal problems, maybe problems with Godwin. And also when we run Nilam Bay Center, we have some official problems. So, and he run some other centers as well, and some other organizations. So I witnessed to many of those discussions that people discuss with their problems, maybe interactions with Godwin. Well, so I have heard many things from Godwin, especially in those argumentative discussions, many different things, but I never heard these three words from Godwin, or four words. This is not my problem. He never said this. So it's a miracle. It's a really miracle. I heard this. I have heard this sentence from many times from many mindfulness practitioners and teachers. It's your problem. It's not my problem. But Godwin never said this one, at least for one time in his life, according to my experiences. This is your problem, not my problem. He never said this. And what he used to say is, we have a problem, and let us see how to solve out it. And he also never said this, that you have a problem and I help you. No, Godwin said, we have a problem and let us work with it. I feel and I experience the beauty of loving kindness with this simple few words sentence. We have a problem, let us work with it. No I, no ego, no selfishness, only pure compassion, pure concern, pure kindness, pure caring. And when we heard this, that we have a problem from Godwin's mouth, then half of our problems are vanished, disappearing. So my dear friends, actually that's the seed of loving kindness, and that's the beauty of loving kindness as well. No I, but we. No I, no capital I, and no you, only we. So dear friends, now we can try to experience this, the beauty of loving kindness in our meditation session. Now time for, I think, meditation practice. It's good that Amy is also practicing loving kindness, otherwise no lunch. Okay, dear friends, please relax yourself. Maybe you can stand up and stretch your arms and legs and bend your back, and after that please sit back. Please do these things as you are supporting to your body and supporting to your mind. Let's see how we feel ourselves. Where we are in front of ourselves, in front of our life. What is our position? Are we the boss and the life of ourselves is the servant, or the life is the master and we are slaves? Let us discover our current position and our current location. Both are not healthy. If we think that we are the boss and the life is the servant, or the life is the master and we are slaves, both are not healthy positions. Can we feel this, that we are friends? The life is and our friend, and we are friends of the life. Can we find out this, that are we suffering because of the body or the mind? Or are we abusing the body and the mind? If we are suffering because of some physical conditions or psychological conditions, then can we detach from them? By being detached and by creating some distance, we can relax ourselves in front of the body and the mind. If we make an unnecessary pressure on the body or on the mind, and because of this unnecessary pressure, if the body or the mind is suffering, then can we be gentle? Can we be tender towards the body and towards the mind? We all are friends. The body, the mind, the life, and ourselves. We all are good friends. With this experience of friendliness, by feeling the beauty of inner friendliness or loving kindness, please open your eyes now. Thank you very much, dear friends, for your beautiful effort in this group meditation session. And now, meal time, maybe lunch time for Hong Kong and breakfast for Europeans and dinner for Jack. So let us continue this practice, that while we are having meals, we can be aware on, we can be aware on our feelings and emotions towards the food. We can be aware and we can try to create some distance in between ourselves and our emotional reactions. And at the same time, when we are having meals, it's like feeding to the body. So we can feel the body and the stomach and the hunger, and we are feeding to the body, like feeding to a child or feeding to an adult and old person. With this compassion, with this feeling, friendliness, loving kindness, can we have our meals? So we can do everything, all these things, if we can maintain this silence. And after that, we can meet again for some sharings and some meditation. Till that, enjoy your awareness as well as enjoy the friendliness what you experience. Thank you.